Well, hello to everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Her Journey, where the H.E.R stands for Healing, Evolving, and Redefining Women. We haven't been with you guys for a while, took a little break, but thought it was time to get back to doing these episodes. So today, I have with me a very, very special person who's my sister. And she and I always have phone conversations that go for hours. I'll be like, we just did a podcast. So let's do one. She's been on an amazing journey. And so the other week when she and I was talking, it just dawned on me, she needs to be a guest on the podcast. So I asked her, and with a little tugging, very little, she said yes. So we are here. So I want you guys to sit back, relax, just make her feel welcome as she shares her journey that she's on, which is, I know, is going to inspire, uplift, and empower someone. So, welcome to this conversation, Tianya.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I know that I sent you some questions, but we're not going to just dive into the questions just yet. We just kind of take it easy and ease into them. So, I know about this amazing journey that you're on, started. Um, so can you just tell the audience what the journey is, and then we'll get into breaking it down for them.
Okay, I'm on a weight loss journey right now, and I've been on it since September of 2024. Um, with trying to eat healthy, trying to learn how to eat healthy, and working out about 5 days a week. So it's a struggle, but we getting there.
Yeah, that's amazing, amazing. And so, what was the moment, or how do I want to say it? What was the moment that you felt like this decision was the right decision? I know in the past, you've been thinking about it, but what was the turning point for you to say, yes, I'm going to do it?
Oh my gosh, you're right. Like I've been pondering how to lose weight a lot of my life, majority of my life, because I've been a plus size, oversized, however you guys want to label it. But
Yeah.
and I've done different things, um, different diet fasts, and just up and down. I've lost a lot of weight once before weight in the past by working out, but I moved here to Boston from California, and I just seem to have been gaining more and more weight. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was stress, whatever the case may be, but I got into this weight loss program at the hospital because my
Mhm.
doctor suggested it. Different health reasons, just like lose the weight and
Yeah.
let's work on you losing the weight. So I went to the
Mhm.
weight loss clinic, and they wanted me to do the surgery, and I just wasn't okay with doing the surgery, really.
Mhm.
I went through the steps, but I was like, I'm not gonna do no surgery, why
Yeah.
I do the surgery.
Mhm.
Many reasons why. One, you're nervous because you don't know the outcome of it. Um,
Mhm.
two, because of the flab, the excess flab when you are really overweight and when you
Mhm.
start to lose, the weight, it's just
Yeah.
nothing but flab. And two, three, because I've known other people who have done the surgery and the outcome wasn't so good. They
Mhm.
away,
Yeah.
so those are my reasons.
Mhm.
And I just kept going through the process. I just kept
Okay.
saying, I'm gonna go through the process.
Mhm.
Here we had a family fun day in September, last
Yeah.
September, and I had an appointment probably about 3 weeks before with the surgeon, and I
Mhm.
had been losing weight. Unbeknownst to me, I was on Monjuro because I also have sugar diabetes. And so
Mhm.
in the midst of that, I was losing weight with
Yeah.
medication.
Mhm.
And but I wasn't down to the expected amount of weight that they wanted me to lose. He was like, you need to lose, I think like it was 10 or 13 more pounds. He said,
Mhm.
I need you for the next 3 weeks to go on a liquid diet. And in my head, I'm laughing. I'm like, I'm not going on no liquid diet. Is he crazy? I got a family function coming up. I'm about to eat good. I am not going on no liquid diet.
Yeah. Hmm.
I walked out of there and I was thinking like, this surgery is not about to happen at all.
Hmm.
So I went home. I ate like I normally did. I
Yeah.
enjoyed myself at the family fun day and I ate. I had to go the day before I was scheduled for the surgery, which was September 19th.
Hmm.
And I lost the weight.
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
super
Awesome.
shocked because I did nothing different. I was eating, I was enjoying myself.
Hmm.
And like I said, I didn't expect to, have the surgery. I went
Yeah.
there and since I lost the weight, they scheduled
Yeah.
me for that surgery. Well, I was already scheduled, but the
Hmm.
appointment for the surgery was the next day. And
Yeah.
I ended up having the sleeve surgery, not the gastric. I
Okay.
had the sleeve.
Yeah. So I'm glad you shared that with us. So I can remember, I think I want you to talk a little bit about the moment you were in the office and you didn't really expect yourself to say yes to the answer, although you had lost the weight and it was in this moment, it's emotional. But I felt like you did a lot of praying too and share that piece of it that you felt like it was a sign from God.
Oh, yes, I did. So when I left out of the office that day, I said, if it's meant for me to have the surgery, God is gonna, you know, make sure it happens. And
Yeah.
then the day before I went in there for the weight loss, I said, Lord, I said, if this is your will, I
Yeah.
said, and have at it.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, God really was working in my favor. He wanted me to have this because I felt
Yeah.
like it was the deciding moment,
Hmm.
leaning on
Hmm.
God and
Yeah.
giving him, the wherewithal to make the decision for me and not me make the decision for myself. So I
Yeah.
feel like God played such a huge part in this because it was only him. Because I
Hmm.
was not thinking about this
Yeah.
surgery. I know all the doctors were, but I
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
You know this because
Yeah.
I told you.
Absolutely. Because even when you called and told me you were having it, I was like, really? Because I was like, I know all the back and forth, the conversations we had about, I want to do it, I don't want to do it, I don't think I'm going to do it. And then in that moment in the office, it was just like everything just aligned. And you just felt like that was God saying yes
Yep.
to the surgery. And so the importance of including him in all decisions of our life, little, small, we might think, oh, this is so little. God's not going to take the time to hear this, but he hears everything. And when it's his purpose, it's just so beautiful how he orchestrates it and just lines it up that you like, okay, yes. And you're probably like walking around there be like, did I just say yes?
Exactly. And
Because
to know
that
that
was
I
not
know
my
that
intent.
God is his will because back in 2021, I had COVID really bad. And after that, I was in the clinic. I've been in this weight loss clinic since probably about 2018. That tells
Okay.
you I like really wasn't
I'm
thinking.
launching. Yeah.
So I went to the appointment after I came out the hospital from COVID some months later, but I had lost a lot of weight from COVID. So
Yeah.
I had met the requirement to have the surgery then. They were supposed to call me within a couple of weeks later to set me up and, for an appointment for the surgery.
Yeah.
I never got a call, and nor did I call to do
Yeah.
either to find
Yeah.
out like what's going on. So
Yeah.
I feel like it was that time. It wasn't God's will for me at that time to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
here we are, 2024, and it does happen at that point.
Wow. Like his timing is so not our timing, but it's right timing. And
Exactly.
so when we just trust the process, it just aligns. So you have the surgery, we'll fast forward a little bit. You have the surgery, you come home the same day, right? Did
No,
you,
no.
no,
I was
okay,
in
so
the hospital
you have
for,
the surgery. How long do you have to stay in the hospital?
I stayed in there for about 3 or 4 days, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, okay.
Yes, and it was
Um, yep, no, go ahead. Yep, no, and then you get home and now you're thinking like,
what did I do? That is definitely what I thought.
Okay. So in those moments when you starting to like feel a bit of like, I don't want to say regret, but maybe like, oh, maybe I should not have done this. Did you have any moments like that?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. Even in the hospital, because the recovery was really, really difficult. I will kid you not. I don't know. Everyone's body is different,
Yeah.
even in the hospital. So you have to get up and walk around. And I got up and walked around, and they were like, "Oh, you're doing really great," which I felt like I did great, but it was painful, very painful.
Okay. Okay.
The area hurts. Trying to go to the restroom, all of
Yeah.
that hurts. The eating, like not being able to hold nothing down when you really want to eat something.
Yeah.
That's all you know is to eat, especially if you like good food, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So the eating, like I couldn't even hold liquids down, couldn't hold water down. And it was so frustrating. Came home and it was the same thing. And I called one of my cousins and she picked me up from the hospital because I had not scheduled anyone to pick me up from the hospital because I thought I was going to be able to come home, just do
Hmm.
the normal.
Go back to normal.
Yep.
Hmm.
And, go to work, all
Yeah.
that. But no, that was not the case. Let me tell you that. So I called my cousin at the very last minute and I'm like, can you pick me up? And she's like, oh my God, yes. Like, why didn't you tell me? So she picks me up. She sees where I'm at this,
Yeah.
and she just comes and she stays with me for a few days to take care of me.
Nice.
And
Hmm.
thank God for her that she did that because I would have been so lost. I didn't
Hmm.
read I couldn't even read any of the packets that they gave me,
Yeah.
to find out what I was supposed to eat,
Yeah.
eat the medication and all that. She did all that. Uh,
Oh, that's awesome.
I definitely say if you decide to do it, get someone there that can assist you with that because this is a
Hmm.
task.
Yeah, yeah. So that's so good that someone like she came in and just supported you, stayed over, read information, kind of help you in that
And you
moment.
did too. You came in after her and you cleaned up where she left off at because I was still stuck.
Yeah. So after this period of time, or maybe a week, 2 weeks into it, are you starting to feel like how long did it take you to start to feel better? Or, what were you like in the beginning, what could you eat and what couldn't you eat?
You're on like a 4 stage weeks. Like I think it's 2 weeks and then 4 weeks and then 3 months later. So the first few weeks you're on liquid, nothing but liquid. And like you can't eat any type of solids or anything. Then
Okay.
you go to the second stage, you go to like yogurt, very soft stuff that can, go down easily because
Easy.
the passage is so thin, like any
Yeah.
little thing could get stuck. I remember
Okay.
probably about 4 months later, I went out to eat with someone and I ate a piece of a biscuit. 4 months. I ate a
Yeah.
piece of biscuit. That biscuit got stuck. I had to stop.
Oh no.
It's a little
Wow.
piece of the biscuit, but that just shows you like the
Yeah.
so small. So you got to be very careful about you got to follow the stages that they give you.
Yes.
So,
And yeah. And then over time, as you're following the stages, are you able to eat more, feel like it's going down, or do you still have moments of I still can't eat certain things, or like how does that
oh,
work?
yeah, definitely. I mean, there are good days and bad days. One
Okay.
you look good, next day is not so good.
Okay.
So I had a lot of moments of not being able to get stuff down. And here we are almost a year later, and I'm still like some days are good and some days are not good. I'm a lot better than where I was, and I can see
Yeah.
the difference, but there are
Mhm.
some days that are better than others.
Yeah. How long does it take you typically in those early stages and maybe even now, like how long did it take you to like eat something that you typically prior to surgery would have like eaten in, I don't know, 5, 10 minutes? Like what was the eat?
About 4 months, probably about 4 months.
No, like how long, like how many minutes?
Oh,
Like
how long does it
it
take me to eat?
takes
Oh my gosh, like to eat
in
a
the beginning.
to eat one egg, it took like about a good 40 minutes to eat the egg.
Wow.
One egg.
So
Wanted
did that become frustrating because you're so used to not having to do that? Did you get frustrated in that process of
very
like, can
frustrated.
I just eat, please?
Yes, that's how I felt. Those exact words that you said is what I would say. Can I just eat? Like, and that's where sometimes the regret came in at because I wasn't able to eat. When you're hungry, you feel like you're hungry, but I think it's just like you just want to eat because you're so used to eating. You want something
Hmm.
good in your
Yeah.
mouth to taste,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you have that fulfilling. You know how your stomach feels so nice and full when you eat something.
Hmm.
And so I had a lot of those days where I wasn't able to eat, and the
Yeah.
struggle of just trying to eat just one little thing, just
Yeah.
forever. The food would
Yeah.
be cold, and so that was
Oh
frustrating
wow.
because don't nobody want any cold food,
No, not at all.
especially
Not
a
at
cold
all.
egg, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so as you started to adapt to the new normal, right? Because this was definitely a new normal. Like, did you go back to the doctors at certain times for like check-ins, along the way? Do you have to go back and check? And as you went back to check in, were there moments you felt discouraged because you felt like, oh, I thought this should be more. I should have lost more and this and that. Were you starting to like how did your psychic work around that?
Yeah, so you have a 3 month checkup, a 6 month, and then now it will be my year in September. And yes, plenty of moments of feeling disgusted that I did all this and it's been difficult and I
Mhm.
haven't lost the weight that I want to lose. I've lost a great amount of weight, but
Mhm.
at the time when you're first starting out and when you're
Yeah.
hungry and you can't eat nothing, you feel
Yeah.
like the weight should be just falling off of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you
Hmm.
go for your first checkup and you've only lost like 20 pounds, you're
Hmm.
like, and
Yes.
after all of this I just went through, now 20 pounds sounds like a lot, right? But the
Yes.
size that I am and what I've gone through, I just didn't feel like that wasn't enough. I want to see, a fit,
Stop. Yeah. Yeah.
flat stomach, thin thighs,
Yeah.
you know.
Hmm.
So it was
Yeah. So
some
I can remember
frustration.
some of those conversations when I was like, when you get on the other side of this, like it's okay, it's a part of the process. You got to keep pushing, and that part of forgiveness where it's like it didn't take you overnight to get here, but now we just feel like okay, we want the miraculous on the other side, right? We want to be like,
Exactly.
oh, it didn't take me overnight to get here, but now I'm gonna put myself through here. I should see better results,
Yeah.
right? And so sometimes we start to be hard on ourselves and not give ourselves grace in the moment and just saying, listen, I made a decision to have a better, healthier life,
Yes.
and this is a journey. It's not a destination. That was a journey. And so I can remember, like, you got this, sis. You got this. You'd be like, thank you. Like it don't feel like it. And I was just like, or even when you got upward towards the 40, 50 pound, I'd be like, I see it. You'd be like, I don't see nothing.
You did. You kept saying, you don't see it. You don't see
It's
it.
like, no. And then you were like, well, there's days when I do see it, and then there are days when I don't see it.
Yeah.
So do you feel in saying that it's important, how do I want to say it? Like your mental plays a part in this as well, as far as now sending your brain a new message that you're on this journey. Like, did you look in the mirror sometime and still felt like you saw the old Tion?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Mhm.
I think I've just now started. I would say things to you. I remember here and there,
Mhm.
a few
Yeah.
months ago. Oh, I can see a little difference. And like you said, and I'll turn around and be like, I don't see nothing. But
Yeah.
within the past month or so, and
Yeah.
this is months later, I can look in the mirror now and be like, dang, okay, I see it. And I'm looking at
Yeah.
old pictures and I'm like, whoa, your face was just so fat. You
Hmm.
noticing like the thinner the neck and
Yeah.
hands and
Yeah.
me.
Hmm.
But I have on jewelry right now, and I have
Yeah.
not worn jewelry in years, and you know that because my
Yeah.
he was just so fat and chunky and uncomfortable. But
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
I can see the difference, I can feel the difference. So
Yes. Yes. So
I'm starting to
embracing,
see it.
yeah, starting to embrace the new you.
Yeah.
and sometimes that comes with a challenge since, you're so used to, the other way of life. Is just like now, this is the new way of life. And so it can come with this challenge, but it's the never giving up, which you didn't do even on the moments of being frustrated or not seeing the results that you got up the next day or went. And I also love watching you just take charge of this journey. And you started to incorporate the gym. Like I used to be the gym fanatic. Now the torch has been passed. Now you in there killing it, making TikTok videos, just really embracing, bringing other people along with you on the journey as an encouragement. So it's like a 360 transformation. So yeah, so you didn't just sit there once you got through it. Like, what was your motivation to be like, okay, now I need to add the gym and I need to do that? Like, because you become a gym nut.
I do. I go to the gym 5 days out the week. I go in the mornings before work. So I get up at 5 a.m., go in there and get it in. And I'm so used to it now that I feel weird not going. If I
Hmm.
miss a day or something, my back went out on me last week and I was like, oh, like I need to get back in there.
Yep,
So
yep.
I just went back yesterday. So it felt really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what my motivation was when I first went. I think it was just that, hey, I already done this, so I need to just keep going. I need to figure it out to get the weight.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with the amount of weight that I've lost, so I need to get in there and help the situation out more.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what probably, started me to, do it. And then also not wanting to have so much flabby skin, you know,
Yeah.
try to help tone this up as best as possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I've just gotten so used to getting in there and I actually enjoy it. Now, let me not kid you. It is not easy every day. And sometimes
Right. Of
I get
course.
those
Yeah.
moments that I don't feel like doing this. I'm
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
tired. I feel weak.
Yeah.
Same time, I know the results of when I get done, how I'm gonna feel. So
Yeah.
I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, that's good. So it's like now become like a lifestyle change for you.
Yeah.
So that's when you know when something's become a lifestyle change, because when you said, oh, if I don't go for so many days, you start to feel blah, you start to feel like I need to get in there. And
Yeah.
so you've now trained yourself to have this pattern to go, so which is a great lifestyle change. So it's just a it's just amazing that this journey has now like taking you to like creating TikTok videos, like and really being transparent, because some of your videos you'd be like, oh, I didn't want to do this today, or oh, it was a difficult day, whether it was eating or whatever, which makes it relatable to other people when you are transparent. And if you go out there and be like, oh, every day's a great day, it's gonna be a little hard to you will still have people, but
Yeah.
did you find even in your being authentic, and this is what I want people to know, that sometimes you're also gonna have haters. Like everyone's not gonna celebrate the journey you're on. But I love one of your concepts is even on TikTok, if somebody says something negative, you're like, I don't know them. So what they say don't matter. And that's important, because we find today in social media, people say stuff and people just shut down their pages, or they get hurt, or they just can't believe it and they just don't want to do it anymore. But I love your attitudes like that. I don't even know them, so I don't really care what they say. So, I feel like what inspired you to start doing the TikTok videos?
I wanted to one hold myself accountable, and I felt like
Okay.
put it out there. It
Yeah.
make me be more accountable for
Yeah.
that I get in here and I do this and I keep going on this journey. And I
Yeah.
also want to help other people, show other people that
Hmm.
this road is not easy. It's a tough
Hmm.
road, but if I can do it, I know you can do it. Which a lot of
Hmm.
people always say, well, if I know you can, but it's true. Like you
Yeah.
can do it. Whatever it is, it don't even have to be the weight loss journey. It's just whatever
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah.
One foot forward in front of the other and just do
Yeah.
it. Because you
Yeah.
don't see any results if you don't do anything. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I just wanted to make sure. So, and then you said something about, the haters. I even told, so I haven't shared a lot with all my family members regarding
Yeah.
this. And it's weird
Yeah.
because I'm on social media, but I'm not sharing it with all my family members. And it's reasons
Yeah.
why, but
Yeah.
and I told my brother, a couple of months ago about, the journey. And then
Yeah.
so that about me being on TikTok. He said,
Mhm.
well, aren't you worried about the people who are out there talking? I told
Mhm.
him no. First, like you said, I said I don't know those people. So what does it
Yeah.
matter? People are not
Right.
are breaking me. People are
Yeah.
gonna have opinions. People are probably sad in their own story and
Mhm.
like this brings them up to talk negative about somebody else. I said,
Yeah.
so why would I allow that to hinder me from what I got going on? My mother raised
Mhm.
a strong woman, and I
Yeah.
think that plays a big part of who I am today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's good. That's good that you did. That some people will let that, discourage them in the moment and be like, no. But like, I love what you
urge
said that.
myself. Anything.
um, I love what you said that first you were doing it to keep yourself accountable. So that's huge. Like, if I put this out here, nah, I got to do it because I've put my business, I put myself, I'm vulnerable. I'm letting other people I know that I'm doing this. So now that's gonna motivate me to get out here and just keep it going. So that's important. That self awareness, that self accountability, and then what others said don't matter. But if you're doing it out there to get likes and somebody to say something, like it might be short lived because now if you're not getting the likes and you're not getting the love, then that's gonna discourage you. But if you're doing it out there just as accountability to yourself, then all the other stuff is noise. It's nice to see it. We love our supporters, so we're not saying that, but it's not that's not the main reason why you're out there. You're out there for yourself.
Yes,
And
that
so I think that's good. So what would you say to someone that maybe we're gonna get back to your milestone weight and all that too, but it's coming to me. Like, what would you say to a woman or anyone that may be considering going on this same journey? They're stuck in their rut. They've been contemplating it. Not sure. What would you say to encourage them to make a decision for themselves, for their health?
for your health, I say make the right decision, which
Decision.
get up and just get out there and move. If you're thinking
Hmm.
about surgery, I say research. And
Yeah.
I read, but I didn't read.
Hmm.
The doctors do encourage you, research and read up on it. And I
Hmm.
didn't because, like I said, I didn't have any plans to do it, but I say read up on it. And
Yeah.
remember that everybody's story is different. So even I'm sharing my story of the difficulties I had, you may
Yeah.
not have those same difficulties.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
don't let my story hinder you from my difficulties. Just get up, make the decision to change your life
Yeah.
healthy and just get out
Yeah.
there and work. And it just take
Hmm.
one day at a time. And
Yeah.
any movement is good movement. So
Hmm.
don't give up on yourself.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now, I think I alluded to this, but to go back to it, is there when you are making decisions to go through this process, do they take you through like I don't want to say mental piece of it, but like a counseling piece of it? Is that a part of helping you make the decision as well, that to for that mental clarity?
It's not to like help you, it's more so to see if you need to be psychologically evaluated further if you're okay with having the surgery. So they
Oh,
see a
okay.
psychologist. So you go through this whole thing, you see a doctor then set you up with a clinical what is a dietitian because they
Hmm.
help you lose a certain amount of weight to get to
Hmm.
they need you to have the surgery, and then
Okay.
they send you to a psychologist to see if your brain is okay. You know,
Okay.
so
Okay.
it's not so. I guess they just want to see where you're at, if you're mentally capable of having the surgery, and then if
Okay.
some of it based on the answers you give, they decide whether they clear you or whether you need to go forward on to speak to somebody else.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I wasn't sure how that works. Okay. But that's good that they have all those checks and balances in place before it's like, oh, just come in and get the surgery. Like I like that there's steps to before you get to that final stage. So people
They
have
have
a
support groups afterwards
opportunity.
too.
Say it again.
Have support groups afterwards too.
Okay.
Help you out like what food, what stages you're on,
Hmm.
you're with other people. So in case, you have
Yeah.
questions, you can hear what other people have to say and see what
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay. Good. So you've been on this journey now for a year?
Almost a year, September.
September, almost a year. So we're shy of a year by what are we in June, July, August, maybe 3 months. June, July, August. Yeah, July, August, September, 3 months. So I know you just reached a huge milestone. I'm super excited for weight. Tell the people
So it's funny,
where
like
you are.
I don't go around telling all my weight, nothing like
No?
that. I haven't even shared it on TikTok, but I
Yeah.
did share it on YouTube because I did a video of a while back of this journey that I started. Um,
Yeah.
but so my highest weight, which is crazy, is 407 pounds. Now
Okay.
I had to lose about 30. So I was already losing weight before I went into the surgery. But
Mhm.
so they clocked me at 380 something.
Okay.
And I had to lose like I think it was anywhere between 10 to 15 pounds that I had lost. I don't remember the exact amount. So when I went into surgery, I think I was at 368, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so the total weight that I've lost 103 pounds. I just weighed myself the other day and I lost like 3 more pounds. So I've lost a total of 103 pounds.
In 9 months. It's
Yeah.
not even a year yet.
I believe it's 103 pounds. Yeah.
That's amazing. And in 9 months, you didn't even make the year yet. You've already hit 100 pounds.
I know, but in
And
my head, I'm like, that's not enough. I'm still at that point in my life, like, that is not enough. I should be, at this amount of weight.
it's huge. That's a whole person. Okay.
I
So
know that's so
that's
true. That is a whole person,
yes, it's a
right?
whole person. So that's amazing. So you stop and celebrate yourself? How did you feel when you stepped on the scale and was like lost that first it's like 100 pounds? Like were you able to celebrate in that moment?
Within, I wasn't, and I was at the doctor's office because I went for my back, and
Yeah.
they didn't weigh me, but I went to go weigh myself after the doctor saw me. And I said, let me just weigh myself. I saw
Yeah.
it, oh my God. And the lady, one of the nurses came out, she's just like, what? And I told her, she says, she was so happy for me. I said,
Yeah.
tell my doctor, because she was with someone else. She's like, I'm about to put it in your chart and I'm going to tell your doctor. So
Oh,
my
that's
doctor had just
awesome.
seen me a week before that, and I was very close to it. And she's so proud of me because she sees the changes in me. And it's
Yeah.
funny because months before the surgery, my health has been up and down because of I've had COVID. I mean, we have another story. COVID
Yes. Yeah.
had it extremely bad. I had cancer. And so my doctor's like, your health is declining. She's like, you need to have the surgery. And I told her, I said, don't worry, I'm gonna lose this weight. And she said, you say this so confidently, but I don't know. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if that's true or not.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw her about a couple of weeks ago, she said, "You know what you said," and I love that she remembers this because I told her this over a year ago. And she said, "You know, you sat here in this chair so confidently and told me that you was gonna lose this weight." And she said,
Mm-hmm.
I had doubt. She said, because I just saw your health declining. And she said, but I'm so proud of you because you did what you said you was gonna do.
Yes.
Such
Yes.
a good job. She said, I see a whole new you.
Yeah, that's so amazing. That is so awesome. So with the weight loss so far, like what? benefits have you seen like in your physical body? Like if you notice things differently that you're able to do that you couldn't do before, or just like wearing jewelry, like you just showed us a few minutes
A
ago.
lot of my clothes, like, so this outfit, I had this outfit in my closet for probably about 3 years with the tags on,
Mm-hmm.
and it was tight. I
Mm-hmm.
wore it now and it's baggy. I'm gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
get this away. I've never worn it. It's my first time wearing it, but I'm gonna
Wow.
get this away because it's big on me at this point. But I'm gonna wear it today because Nikki is one of my favorite characters. I know you can't see it, but
Yeah.
so I'm gonna you know, as far as my clothes, I've seen a lot of difference. I went into the store today and I tried on a large. Girl can fit a large.
Mm-hmm.
I was in
Mm-hmm.
3 and 4 X's.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's so awesome.
walk a lot better. Like,
Yeah.
or it's just so tiring from walk from here to, I say down a half a block. I was exhausted, tired, legs hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can walk.
Yeah.
I can stand for long periods of time again, like I
Mm-hmm. Nice.
um. And I even did a little jog, going to my car the other day. I said, "Girl can jog."
So awesome.
So
So
it's a lot
awesome.
of different changes, I've
Yeah. What about for its medication? And have you been able to eliminate anything? You don't
yeah.
diabetes or
So diabetes, my sugar is my doctor says is obsolete at this point. He said he can't guarantee that I will always not have to take diabetes medications
yeah.
while you are healthy. He said we're just gonna enjoy the moment. And
Yeah.
your sugar is down. So I think when I went into the hospital to have the surgery, my hemoglobin was probably like at a 7 point something.
Mhm.
Hemoglobin now is like at a 5.3.
Nice,
And
nice,
if
nice.
5.6 or higher, 5.6 or higher, like 5.6 is pre-diabetic. And
Okay.
so I'm doing really good. So no more
That's good.
medication. I wasn't taking a whole bunch of medication.
No, you weren't. Mm-mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that was probably one of the main ones.
Okay.
My
That's
breathing,
good.
I take allergy medication because I have asthma, but I still take that because,
Yeah, yeah.
well,
Mm-hmm.
with the weather here and stuff like that. But other than that,
Yeah.
I don't take a lot of medication.
That's good. That's
High
good.
blood
So
pressure, no high cholesterol.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Those are all good. So it's just awesome that you are starting to reap the benefits of just like feeling better, being able to do more things than you did before. Wearing things. We all went shopping. What was it, last weekend or the weekend? Whatever. We went to the store and
Yes.
he was trying on stuff. And I'm like, okay, and jeans. And I'm like, wow, we had to go down and get a smaller size and all this craziness,
Right?
and
Like
which was
that was like
so,
2, 3 sizes I had to go
yep,
down. So
yep, which
wearing
is,
jeans, I have
yeah.
not worn, I have not worn jeans in years.
Jeans, yes,
With some
yes.
fitting pants, some stretch pants.
And so, yeah, so it was good. It was fun being able to sit on the other side out there and watch you open the door and be like, oh my God, like, yes, we all see it. We all see it. And so that was just an incredible experience to watch, because I've been in the beginning of the journey and now watching you go through it. It's just been a blessing to watch it, and then for you to encourage other people who may be thinking, you know they can't get on the other side. So that's what this podcast is about: women telling their story. We don't start getting a few men on, but predominantly women telling their story just to uplift, empower, encourage, let somebody know that just because you are here today doesn't mean that you have to be stuck, that you can move on. Your present circumstances doesn't define who you are. You have the ability to change it, become your own champion, and just take action over your life. You know what I mean? And be accountable for yourself. And
Yeah.
so I am so glad that you are sharing the story. You hinted to the other things that also took place before your journey. Like, I know you are a survivor of COVID. I mean, since you were sick, you know what I mean? And so God just showed forth his grace and mercy and, brought you through that. And then you got through that. And then the C words popped up. And then it's just like, then God showed out and took care of that. And so he has just been so, so good to you. I don't know if you want to speak to any of those two.
Yeah, so I've had like total of 4 surgeries within the past since 2021. I had well now I'm sorry, 3 surgeries. I had COVID, I had cancer, I had my nose surgery. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah,
I couldn't breathe, and then I ended up having a weight loss surgery. So starting with COVID, I had COVID in the very beginning when it first started, and
yeah,
they didn't know anything about it. They didn't know what to do, how
yeah,
to handle it. And I was in the hospital for, I think, what was it, 23 days, if I'm not mistaken, and by myself, none of the people that I knew. So, I mean, but I'm a strong person. I feel like I'm strong, so I got through it. I wasn't sad, but I was alone. But I
yeah.
wasn't, and they intubated me, and I've never been intubated before. So I went
Mhm.
through that. Um, they they tell me I'm a miracle because they didn't know what was going on at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Had
yes.
asthma, I had influenza, pneumonia, and the COVID. So
Wow.
I had a
Yes.
very like horrible case of it, and
Mhm.
I God brought me through that.
He did. Yes, he did.
And then 2020, November 2023, I had been having these pains for years in my lower stomach. And I started working out after COVID and I was trying to get healthy, but this pain kept persisting and I didn't know what it was. And
Yeah.
I found a doctor that knew that listened to my symptoms and tested me and found out that I had endometriosis cancer.
Mhm.
And I had to have a full hysterectomy, which is a sad story, but
Yeah.
it was to help me live, longer.
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
did that. I'm cancer free. I've been
Yes.
a doctor every 6 months to follow up on that to make sure that there's no cancer. They check my lymph nodes and all that type of stuff. And
Yes.
no cancer. So
God is good. God is good.
um
Yes. So you have a history with God. So you know that
yeah,
if he did that, surely he can do this. You know what I mean? And so he
definitely.
has been there every step of the way. And so given that in mind, I think I'll move on to some of the questions. Given that in mind, and I know this is a conversation we have all the time. Um, and you're still, well, I'll let you say that. But do you feel like you know what your purpose is?
Ooh.
You said, why are we starting with that?
Right? Because we've talked about this plenty of
All the
times.
time. Yeah, because you
Um,
have been purpose here. You have been here. You have been left here for a reason. It's undeniable. You have been left here for a reason.
I still struggle with finding my purpose,
Okay.
but I've come to think that it may be like something like we're helping people some way or somehow. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not me teaching, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe me showing.
Okay.
Like right now, what I'm doing,
Yeah.
maybe it's just to show somebody. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to be up teaching in front of a bunch of people or anything like that. Just show
Yeah.
like by action,
Okay.
sharing
Okay.
my story with other people
Mm-hmm.
so that they can see, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but as I really don't know what my purpose is. That's the only thing I can come up with at this point.
Yeah. No, and that's good. And I always tell people, like, I think we overanalyze it sometimes. We think it has to be something grand and camera, light, action, seen by others, recognized by others. And it's none of that. One of our guests that was on here, Kim Odom, I still love her definition of purpose. Out of all the things, her definition of purpose is a song that we used to sing back in the day, and it is, if I can help somebody along the way, then my living will not be in vain. And that's purpose. You sharing your story, you encouraging somebody else to be like, you can do this, because not only are you saying you can do this, you are a prime example. Like you have the evidence that it can be done because you've gone through this process. So I don't think we need to sometimes overthink our purpose. You're living in your purpose right now. You're living life on purpose. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You are purpose. And so, sharing your story, you are great with events. I don't know why you downplaying that, but this girl can do a candy table, like all kinds of stuff. She can do cakes on sticks. She's an amazing person for desserts. All of the, different talents like helping decorate, event planning, stuff like that. So you have a lot of skill sets that you may not think, oh, those aren't purposes, just things I like to do.
Yeah.
Because purpose doesn't always mean a paycheck is attached to it. You know what I mean? So we think about there are moments when you start to find something that you love and it becomes that purpose, and then you be like, okay, I love this so much. I want to do this full time and I want to get paid to do it. And so but that doesn't, always define purpose. So I think each day we wake up, we should live our life on purpose in that day. So, I would say you are living your purpose. Now, if there's something tangible that you want to do, then you're still in search of that. But that makes sense too. But I feel like you're living your purpose by being on this, right here on this, because
Thank
you
you.
was like, I don't know, and then doing the TikTok videos, bringing others into your world to let them know, like, hey, I'm on this journey, join me. Like that takes courage. Everybody's not gonna make a TikTok and want somebody to come on their journey with them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's a part of your purpose. So I feel like you are heading in the right direction in your purpose.
This guy I used to work with, he used to work with us. He no longer works there. He texted me this morning. So I posted a video because I hadn't posted one in about over a week back, I was saying. And I
Yeah.
posted it yesterday morning. And he says, oh my God, he said, I've been wondering where you at. He says, you know what? Your video, and now he does not have any weight on him at all. He's a skinny little white
Mhm.
guy. And he's just like, you encourage me, you inspire me to want to get out and do something. So he's in
Yeah.
search of who he is right now, trying to find out what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Like, you encourage me, you inspire me. He says, I got out there, he says, and I started like mowing lawns and taking care of people's gardens because
Wow.
I find that I'm really good at that. And I said, I've been trying to tell you that you're good at like decorating and bringing old things to life. I've been doing
Hmm.
that for, since I've known
Hmm.
you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, dang, like that's so awesome. Like it's
See?
not
Hmm.
just about the weight loss because I don't feel, I mean, although I want people to understand like this weight loss journey is important to me and
Yeah.
I can help you to lose the weight as well to get
Mhm.
healthy, I'm all for it. But I also
Yeah.
want other people to know, like, whatever it is in life, just
Hmm.
do it. Don't give up on yourself. Just get
Yeah.
up, just do it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so good that even though your story is about weight loss, he still found encouragement in that story for what he's doing now. Just so the fact that you're pushing through, that you're motivating other people, that's purposeful. You know what I mean? So that's good that you're inspiring others along the way. So that keeps you going too. It's like, oh, even when I don't feel like getting on and tell the story, there might be somebody that needs to hear this today. So let me get up, let me go, let me say I don't feel like being here, but I'm here. Let me say after, oh, see, I'm over. I got through it. I feel better because you never know what words somebody needs to be inspired.
Yes.
So it encourages you to, hey, I always like to say, tell your story because sometimes we want an audience to tell our story. I believe in the opposite. Tell your story and the audience will find you. That
Amen.
that needs your story. The audience tell the story. The audience that needs to hear that story will find you. And
Right.
so because if we wait to tell our story for the audience, we might not be like, well, I don't know what story they want to hear. Do they want to hear about the COVID? Do they want to hear about the cancer? No, just tell the story and the people that need to hear it will find you.
Right.
So
But the
that frees
audience
us.
they might not even like my story. They might not even be able to understand or feel my story. They just
Yeah.
might say, oh, this is another story. But you're right.
Yeah.
The person who
Yeah.
hear
Let
it,
your story find your audience. So that's good. So I was gonna ask you, I always say self-care, it's not selfish. I think you're already on this journey, but some of the things you do for self-care is probably your whole entire weight loss journey. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but that kind of maybe already be the answer.
Outside of that,
Mhm.
spending time with the people who care about me the most, one of them is you. I spend
Thank you.
you.
Yeah.
You fill me up and, give me the
Mhm.
positiveness that I need to hear a lot of times.
Mhm.
And when I
Yeah.
can't find it in myself. So, my sister cousin Gwen, I spend a lot of time with her as well.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and just
And
sometimes
we go out eating.
yeah, going out eating, enjoying myself. I don't eat a lot out
No,
any longer. So when I do eat
no.
out, I enjoy my moment. I don't beat up myself.
Yeah, and I love the fact that even though you don't eat as much when we go out, like I can, be a witness to that. You still didn't let that stop you from having that experience with us. Your place is a kiddie plate, but or you eat two onion rings and be like, okay, I'm good.
I'm done. Yeah.
But you could have been like, you know what? I'm not even eating like that anymore, so I'm not gonna go out and then isolate yourself because you feel like I can't still participate. But you're learning how to still come out, participate, and stay true to who you are and your boundaries in the middle of everybody else eating whatever they're eating. You're still doing what you need. So that's huge, because in some ways that could have stopped that whole, oh, what are you doing? Let's, go shopping, and then we always end with what we gonna eat.
Yep.
And so you're still true to you know what your limitations on what you can eat, but you still enjoy the experience with us as well going out. So
I think it's
that's that.
important, like don't change up. Like as far as spending time with my loved ones, because I know you guys play a big part in my life. So, and I love those moments and
Yeah.
sit with myself a lot of times,
Hmm. Hmm.
enjoy my quiet moments,
Yeah.
praying. So those are all my self-care. I'm starting to get into a lot more things that I want to do. I've been starting to get my nails done. I always get my toes done. I'm starting to get my nails done. I got my nails done for my birthday. So that's some self-care. I want to
Yeah.
we've been talking about the spa thing and
Yeah.
I'm get- I need a
We're doing
massage.
it. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's awesome. So if you were to, when you think about your life in totality and, even more recently, the weight loss, what do you feel you know now about yourself that you didn't think you knew before?
Mm, that I could stay vigilant with this whole thing.
Yeah.
That I can stay like focused.
Hmm.
3 words. I know you may ask me about the 3 words, so it's focus, determined,
Yeah.
and obedient. I now
Okay.
know I can be obedient and listen
Yeah.
to what God has put the path that He's putting me on,
Yeah.
being focused while I'm on it, and being determined.
Okay. I love that. And I love how you answered this question and my other question about the 3 words. Two for the price of one. Those are great words. Focus, determined, and obedient. And all of those words take a level of discipline to do them. To stay focused, you have to, become disciplined. Be determined, you have to be disciplined. And to be obedient, you definitely have to practice the discipline. So those are three strong words and three really, really good words that will transform your life if you stay within those guidelines.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna you can keep talking. My battery's running low, so I'm gonna charge my. I'm
Okay.
glad I brought my charger. Um,
Yeah.
I was something. I told you it's like a regular conversation at home.
I love it because we have deep, long conversation.
Yes, we do. So what would you say is one of your biggest challenge? Hold on one second. Before this goes out, and what did you feel you did to overcome it?
My biggest challenge was making the decision to do this, but
Okay.
make the decision. God made the decision for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And not beating up on myself and
Yeah.
realizing that I'm human.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm gonna make mistakes along the way. I'm not gonna be perfect. This weight
Yes.
loss journey is not gonna come as I want it to come, but how God sees fit for it to come.
Yeah.
And just being okay,
Mm-hmm.
giving
With
myself,
being, yeah. Just being okay with being okay.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, let's see. So you answered when you hear the healing evolving, the three words, you told us what they were. What impact or fingerprint would you like to leave on the planet? Like, what would you like to be known for when people think of you?
What would I like to be known for? That, she was truthful, she was honest to who she
Mm-hmm.
was. She had
Mm-hmm.
a beautiful heart, beautiful soul,
Mm-hmm.
loving and caring, All,
Yes.
of course people want all positive stuff, but and that I was tough. I didn't give up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice. Nice. And so if you had to pick a word to choose and say, I am, because I believe I am is the most two powerful words, because whatever comes after the I am is who you believe you are. So if you had to say a word, you would say I am, what would you say?
I am highly favored by God and I am
Mhm.
resilient.
Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm gonna copy Coach Christie. I know many of you don't know who she is, but Tianya does this. We're doing a Give God 30 challenge, and she is the person leading it out. And she liked to say, I am God's favorite. So I believe I'm God's favorite as well. And you are too. We are one of God's favorite. But
Yes.
I love those words, knowing that you are highly favored, and favor isn't fair. So sometimes we see in life we see somebody else, moving in an area that we want to move in. There may be somebody out there that's wanting to move in the weight loss journey area, and they're like, oh, well, I don't think I could do it. She must have had special this or she had that. No, I'm a regular person, just like you, that
Yep.
made a decision. The
Yep.
difference between you and someone else is that you decided
Yep.
and you can put actions to your decision. So we all have 24 hours in the day. It's just however we choose to use them. And so don't think this is something unreachable for you or the next person. It starts with deciding. And
Yep.
so and from there, take actions. Because
And
we
I'm
can
here
all
for
decide.
anybody.
We can decide like, oh, I want to go to this restaurant. I want to go to this see this movie. But if we don't get up, drive to the movie or take some form of transportation or get there, pay for our tickets, we just decided, but we aren't going to see the movie. So
That,
it's you got to put action behind your decision. So
like you
um
say, either you're gonna decide to do or decide not to do.
yeah,
And
yeah,
which one
yeah.
are you gonna receive the results from? You're gonna see
Hmm.
the results that you want to see from doing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because you're going to receive results anyway, whether you do or not. Just the results. If you don't do anything, the results is going to be nothing.
Right. So
If
would
you
you
do
want
something, the results are going to be seen. So it's going to be the same months are going to go by, whether you do or you don't. So might as well utilize the months and see the result. And here's what other people are not are hesitant about because they don't want to do the work.
oh yes,
Ooh, that's a big one, right?
that
Like
is.
we want the results. Like I want to, get into the two-piece bikini or whatever, but I don't want to do the work that it takes to get into it, or the
I've
one
been
piece,
there.
or whatever it is. Like, I want I want a job, but I'm not ever filling out an application.
Yep. I've been there in all those instances that you mentioned. I've been there.
Yeah, so we've got to do the work to get to the other side, because that's where your character is being built. That's where you're closing relationships, adding new friendships, discovering who you are, becoming accountable, just getting even closer to God. Like all of that is a part of the work. And then when people see you now, they're like, oh my goodness, look at you now. But nobody saw you went to the gym and hit the first sweat. And nobody sees you get up at 5 a.m. going every morning, but they can see you now. Oh my God, you look so good with that.
Right.
I do, but work was involved. You didn't just wake
So
up and be
what?
like, oh, here I
Right.
am, and so the work is what makes us appreciate where we are and the value. And we can look back and be like, I can't quit now because I haven't invested all this in here. I
Yes.
got to keep going.
I got to
So
keep going.
yeah, so we can't skip over the work to get the results because if we could, a lot of us would.
Sure would.
And two more questions. One is, what would your grown woman today say to your little girl? You know, I'm huge on the whole little girl journey and healing her and all of that. So what would your grown woman say to your little girl today?
Oh, it's gonna be okay. Because
Mhm.
it's not just about the weight loss journey when I say that. It's about a lot of things have
Yeah,
gone on in my life.
yeah,
The things that I've mentioned while we've been on here, and then other things that I haven't mentioned.
sure.
It's gonna be okay. Because look at
Yeah,
me now. Pray,
yeah,
love on yourself, you know.
yeah.
Because I always
Hmm.
felt I've always loved myself, but when you got to look in the mirror and love
Hmm.
yourself, that's a whole
Hmm.
different ball game.
Yes,
We've gone
yeah.
through this, because we did a little, class
Yeah, we
together and
did.
stuff,
Yep.
and
Hmm.
I had to go through that, and I'm like, oh, I love myself.
Yeah.
Look
And
in
I
the
can remember
mirror.
you sharing that. I mean, you were willing to be a participant for me when I was going through the coaching program. We had to, have marked clients and actually take them through the process. And as you were sharing that, was this guy was like, I had you say that phrase and look in the mirror and say, I forgive myself, I love myself. I can't remember quite, but it was I forgive
Forgive
my
myself.
body and I love myself
Yeah.
or something like that. And it was just like when you came back the next week, you like that was hard.
Yes. It really was.
That was hard. And you think that's easy to say.
Right?
But I think looking in the mirror forces you to see yourself differently than if you were just sitting in the chair, not looking in the mirror. You say it maybe easily, but
Yeah.
it did. But by the end of our 4 weeks, I think it's 4 week session,
That thing.
there was a turning point where you
Yeah.
could look and it became easier. So
And I think
so
that
yes.
also was a good start for me to really get in focus with this weight loss as well, because I had to look at when I say I had to look at myself, you don't just not just stand in the mirror and just saying, oh, okay, I see myself. No, I had to
Yeah.
really look deep within myself to even be able to
Mhm.
say those words. And once I looked deep within myself and I saw my whole body and
Yeah.
everything, I was
Yeah.
like, you need to push forward. And that's
Yeah.
another thing that helped me too.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
say, get in front of that mirror, look at yourself,
Hmm.
don't be afraid of the outcome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my last question is, what would you title this season, this chapter of your life? If you were to give yourself a title for where you are right now, what title would you give?
Um, I probably would have said, starting from where I was to where I am now. So this is why
Mhm.
I probably say this: wounded but not broken.
Oh, I love that. Wow, that's so powerful. Wounded but not broken. That is the beautiful title. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna steal that. Okay. So when you hear it
Okay.
again, I like you ain't heard it.
Okay.
I'll give you credit though. I'll say to you, I'm gonna say
It's okay.
that is beautiful because a lot of us can relate to that through the life experiences we had. Like I shouldn't be here right now. I should be at the funny farm talking to somebody. But through it all, you made it. Through it all, you were unstoppable. Through it all, you were unbreakable. So they could not break that spirit. You know what I mean? So
I'm just
we
feeling
have
the
to.
things as I go along, you know.
Yeah, yes, they
Full of
tried, but no, you opposite. So I love that topic. Well, I just want to say thank you. This has been easy, right? Did you feel like it was
Yeah,
like talking on the phone?
you just seeing you talking. I have a question for you though, as well.
Oh Lord, I hate when the guest tries to turn it on the host, but sure, go ahead.
So no, it's about me, but
Okay.
for you to what do you see in me, the not the physical,
Mhm,
but just me overall, the growth, because I had a
mhm.
title too, something about growth, but I didn't really delve into it. But what have you seen in me with this whole journey that I'm on?
Oh goodness. Okay, that's a great question. With this journey that you're on, I see your determination. I see your stamina. I see that you are consistent. Um, I see that when I say this, I see that you are like lighter. Like you just feel like I almost feel like you're walking on like clouds. Like I see that you're starting to embrace this new normal and you're starting to love even more who you are. Like not that you didn't love yourself, but you're loving the healthier version of you
Yeah.
even more. You're smiling more. Like you be dressing up more. You just the willingness to know that you're feeling totally better about everything, how you think, you know, in totality, everything is changing for you.
It is.
You're open to love.
I am. I
you
am.
know, and just open to what God has for you. Like
Yes,
I see your spirituality growing, just being I know you read anyways, but just really like wanting to know his will for your life and really like, your prayer life's increasing, like all the things. So I see you turning into the butterfly. You know what I mean? Going from the caterpillar that wasn't sure, but that just evolving and transforming into this beautiful butterfly that's just gonna have all the colors and everything you need, and you're gonna be take off, and you will be unbreakable. Because if I did this, ain't nobody can tell me nothing. Not in a boastful and way that you think you're better than someone, but in
yeah.
a confidence. I see your confidence starting to come, and it's beautiful. So that's what I see
Thank
from
you.
this journey.
I
Yes.
want to let everybody know that I'm still on the journey. I'm not where I want to be yet. I still have a ways to go. And that if you guys want to ever reach out to me for anything, I'm on
Yes. Tell
TikTok.
us. Yes, I was gonna say, tell us sure how the people can follow you, can stay in contact with you on this journey. Please
Um,
share your TikTok.
I'm at TT's Journey. It's TEETEE apostrophe S Journey on
Mhm.
TikTok. I'm also on YouTube. What is my YouTube? I can't even think of my Yvette's Life of Yvette. Yvette, I'm sorry, Life of Yvette.
Okay.
YPTE. I post on there, but I post more on TikTok. But if you want to reach out to me and just like if you need a workout buddy, just want to talk about some things, or if you know any diet plans, any of that, I'm willing to take that too, that feedback.
Yes, yes.
Reach me in my email at msdunbar00@gmail.com.
Awesome, awesome. Listen, it has been amazing. I told you this would be easy. It would feel like you were totally comfortable. And if you weren't, you fooled all of us, okay? Because it just went over really, really good. So
I've learned how to be transparent. Yeah, I've had help
yes.
along the way.
Mhm.
I know one of the questions is that she didn't ask me, and it says my big influencer. What
Oh, yeah, I
is
didn't ask
that?
that.
That Jackie here has been my biggest influencer, and I have to give her flowers now because I when I moved here to Boston. Oh, I'm telling everybody where I'm at, but when I moved here, um, I mean, I don't know I didn't know who I was at all. But I think but along the way, sharing my life and Jackie sharing her life with me, I found out a
Yeah.
lot more about myself. I've been more transparent,
Mhm.
allowing myself to learn some things that
Yeah.
be open-minded about a lot of different things. I'm still in progress. She's still
Yeah.
working on me. But the growth, all the stuff that she mentioned, it is so true what she's saying about me. And it's so funny because other people can see it. Some other
Yeah.
family members that are not even around me a lot
Mhm.
see me, they're like, oh my gosh, you've grown so much. So
Yeah.
you have been my biggest influencer. So I just got to give you
Thank
a power
you.
because you are immaculate, you know.
Oh Lord, I appreciate you saying that. And together we just keep growing. And that's all it's about. So as stuff downloads in me and God gives it to me, I share it and I'm very transparent, as you know. And I
Yeah.
think that's what makes it easy for people to relate. So yeah, because we're all on a journey. So let's just be honest about it and help each other along the way.
Amen.
All
Love that.
right. Well, thank you again. I am going to end this conversation and we look forward to, having you back on the podcast to
Yeah.
tell us, next year this time it's gonna be another 100 pounds.
Yes.
So I just want to say enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you anyway since we're going to a sister luncheon after this that I will be there with you. But thank you, blessings, and I love you, sis.
Thank you. I love you too.